Hello builders, and welcome back to the World Zoo Project, a giant zoo where I am fitting a habitat in for every animal in the game. And if you want to see me building this zoo, why don't you click that link down below and join me over on Twitch where I am building this zoo live, as well as other building projects whenever I feel like it. But now, enough about that self-promotion, let's talk about what we're doing today. So in today's video we will be continuing the build from the last two videos where we are creating a shopping center surrounded by some small cute animals. The first being the Pallas cats, the second was the Binturong, and now we have those adorable cute little red pandas. We all love them. They are the best boys, aren't they? Probably one of the cutest animals I have ever seen, and also one of the most requested animals to be added to the zoo. And I'm glad that they are finally added in, so when people come in asking about red pandas, and bam, I can just show them this exhibit. So let's talk more about the build, as I'm sure that's why you're here. As you can tell, in order to start this all off, I am just copying some walls from the other exhibits. As this is all one large building containing 3 animals, I wanted to keep everything a little more uniform, so it serves that purpose as well as the added effect of saving time with the copy-paste. As for their climbing frame area, as you can see, I am putting in a few rocks here and there, just because I want the top of the build to look a little more natural and cave-like, as I always like to add in that natural look whenever I can. I also like adding in these tiny little holes for them to climb through. I just love the idea that they have their own personal little holes sized perfectly for the little red panda butts. With the walls mostly complete, we can now come in and start adding in the climbing frames. I'll apologize in advance as I jump around a lot with the camera. I tried to edit out some of the weird camera jerks, but when you're speeding up the footage, sometimes that's just not possible, especially for this build, as the camera space was pretty tight in this building and I was jumping around all over the place as I was trying to make everything kind of fit together. In the end, I think the climbing frame area turned out pretty well, but at the same time, it was a real mess getting everything all situated together, especially when I added the pandas into the habitat and I had to adjust things ever so slightly just so that they wouldn't clip out of the walls. I don't know what it is about Planet Zoo, but they just love to escape through wall glitches when you have climbing frames too close to things. Oh, good times. You wouldn't believe how many exhibits I've had to redo just because I add the animals to it and then they're escaping. I don't know what it is about all these magical animals that these zookeepers keep buying, but we gotta put a stop to that. I don't know who it is. Is it Steve? It might be Steve. Steve, you're fired. Get out of here. Stop buying magical animals that can walk through walls. I know it sounds cool on paper, but we cannot physically keep them in the zoo. Oh, I'll tell ya. Good help is hard to find sometimes. And now we're going to create a little bed for our red pandas. Just a tiny little bed nook for them to sleep in, and we'll fill it with only the finest leaves for them to sleep upon. Only the best for our cute little boys. And you'll notice throughout this build and many of my builds, I like to copy paste elements that I have already built. In this case, this little ramp. It saves time, and if it works, why not just copy paste it? It will always help save you time, especially when you're spending several hours on every single habitat and building a giant zoo that takes over a year to get this far. So you learn the little tricks to save you time whenever you get the chance. And as you see, I am adding roots in because eventually above this whole area will be a mountainside with trees growing out of it, so I figured why not add some roots just to complete the look. That's certainly one of my signature moves I find with the zoo. I always like adding in mountainsides to the edge of buildings or exhibits and just blending it all in with nature. I know I say that a lot in my builds, but it's true. There's the benefit of also not having to build a complete roof or wall sometimes if I could just fill it with rocks. Is that laziness? Maybe, but aesthetically it's very nice to look at. And it wouldn't be one of my builds without a waterfall. I feel like 99% of the habitats in the zoo have waterfalls in them. So what can I say? I like waterfalls, and you should too. I just want to put them in everywhere. I particularly love these waterfall pieces as they make a nice little river for you to expand upon, and then you just cover up the side with rocks and it makes it look a little bit more natural. So thank you Frontier to adding those into the game. I know they weren't part of the base game, but I love them. And now we get into one of the most important parts of any habitat build over here on the channel. It's the rock work, the best work. As you can see, we are going to just put rocks all over the exterior of the habitat, as well as the interior. Literally just rocks everywhere. You gotta get that hard base in before you can do in all the plant work and other decorations. And if you've seen any of my other Planet Zoo builds, you'll know that I do not like flat habitats. I want there to be hills and valleys and little cliffs. Well, it mostly depends on the animal I'm building for, but in this case we can get in because these guys love to climb. So the lesson builders to learn: flat habitats bad, more dynamic and terrain altering habitats good. Much better. And now I start on one more viewing area for guests. This will allow guests to get a vantage point on the upper areas of their habitat and see the cute little red pandas foraging for food up here, as we will be later putting in a foraging spot for them. Later in the future, I end up tearing apart parts of this building as I end up putting in the giant pandas right beside the red pandas, as it seemed fitting to keep the two pandas together, even though technically speaking they're not really related and they only share a name. But still, it worked to keep them together to make a panda house. That panda house video will probably be coming on the channel in a few weeks, as I will probably release them as the final animal for Asia as a grand finale. And after that, we will then be working on the African section, which I'm currently building live over on Twitch. Aha, see, it isn't so bad to sneak in promotions once in a while in the middle of a video. Go check me on Twitch. Come see me build the zoo and ask for a live tour. I don't mind giving tours out. Although be warned, the tours can be pretty lengthy even when I'm trying to rush it. At minimum, it takes at least an hour to really see the entire zoo. In-depth tour could take up to 2 hours, so don't expect one of those ones unless I'm doing a special stream. And can we just take an honorable mention to the moss rock? Well, technically more of a plant than a rock. I always consider it a rock. It is very essential to all the good rock work, especially here in the Asian section of the zoo, where I use it to the extreme, making everything look like a nice wet, damp, temperate forest, which is what we want for this area. I tell you, one of my favorite parts of the stream is doing the rock work. It is a nice way to unwind, especially after my work schedule. I just find this the perfect way to zen out. I don't know why, I just like placing rocks and I like making things look good. It's like building my own little personal zen garden in some ways. Now we come to the part where I have to add in some climbing frames to the habitat, as red pandas do love to climb. So I will be adding in different bamboo shoots everywhere, a couple trees and some platforms, and just linking them all together in some weird haphazard way. I'm sure the red pandas will appreciate it, and they most certainly won't fall on their little butts anywhere. Well, look at that. Isn't that climb frame coming together pretty well? I do have to apologize for all of the crazy shaky camera movements, but sometimes you need to get in there real tight with that camera, and when you speed up the footage, it doesn't always work out too well. But hey, no one said I was particularly good at filming or editing videos. I'm doing this again mostly for fun and as a hobby on the side. Still though, I hope you enjoyed that video. Why don't you leave a comment and a like and do all those YouTuber things. I'm just saying, it might help me out a little bit, and I would appreciate it. Okay, now let's get on to the real meat and potatoes of the habitat. The dressing, as it were. This is where we will decorate the whole habitat with some luscious plants and flowers, and just spend some nice times prettying up the whole thing. And now with the actual habitat complete, we can now finish the rest of our build for this area. This of course is going to be the shopping district. I've been building it on and off again for the last two videos, but now we can finally get the rest of it complete. And we started off by coming to the entrance and actually building the sign for the bamboo boutique. And while building it, I decided to alter the letters and make them curve with this prop that we have going behind it. And once we have that done, we will then start decorating it with some bamboo and some flowers and little animals, just to make it all look a little bit more cuter. After all, making things cute just makes people want to buy it. That's marketing, baby. And full disclosure, as I've kind of messed up with the other two videos I just released, certain parts of this build were not recorded, and well, they're just lost to time, unfortunately, but I'm going to include the rest of what I have recorded as we do the outro today. So enjoy what we have left for the shopping mall build. So yes, builders, that brings us to the end of the video. If you want to see me build things live over on Twitch, come give me a like over there, or subscribe and give me a like over here, and just leave a comment. Do all those things that help with the analytics on YouTube. I would appreciate it. Or don't. I'm not gonna boss you around. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just some random dude on the internet who's just building the zoo and uploading videos. Either way, I'm just gonna keep doing it. You like it, you watch it, or you don't. That's fine. Coming up on the channel, we will be doing the pangolin next. It will probably be a short video next week, maybe only a few minutes long. And after that, we will then begin on our bear habitats. There are many bears in Asia, so get ready for that. I believe we have 5 species altogether. And then we'll finish it off, of course, with the panda bears as the final video for the Asian section of the zoo. And then even further after that, we will begin with Africa. As a note for the future, I am currently actually building Africa as I edit and upload these videos. And by far, it is the largest section of the zoo, and I am putting all my love and attention to it, and I love every bit of it. But enough with all those teasing, let's just end this video with a final cinematic route tour for this shopping area and the red pandas. So builders, hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day. Goodbye.